Hey everyone, welcome back to another live broadcast. I'm Jenna, and today I'm going to be talking to you about a really fun topic, and that is all on our CAD-CUT pattern heat transfer vinyl. And I feel like all we've been talking about lately, at least I have been presenting on, is holiday stuff. So we're going to keep that theme going, and we're going to be talking about holidays. Last time I was with you guys, we did a really fun multicolor heat transfer vinyl design for Halloween, but the holiday we will be focusing on today is Christmas, and why Patterns is such a great product, specifically around the holidays. And for those of you that just work with heat transfer vinyl a lot, single color and some special effect, because Patterns really allows you to easily add multicolor looks into your design aspects without having to print and cut. And I think that's why Patterns became so popular, because we're starting to see full color designs a lot in retail. Anywhere from, graphic tees to hoodies and just all over sublimation prints. We're just seeing a ton of really popular patterns. And whenever we talk about patterns, we need to think about what type of patterns are popular during what time of year. And one pattern that continues to trend around the holidays is Buffalo Plaid. So we're definitely going to be working with some Buffalo Plaid today. We're going to do some mix and matching. We're actually going to be working with 3 different colorways of the Buffalo Plaid pattern that we offer. And then we're going to incorporate some cheetah pattern, because whenever I think about graphic designs that I want to show you guys how to create, I just do some research and pull some inspiration. That's usually where I pick up on a lot of the trends that I show you guys. Sorry, this roll keeps falling, so I'm just going to put that on the floor. But I research a lot of trends so that you guys can easily recreate these things from home or at your business and be able to profit from them with the media or technology that you guys have in-house. So with that being said, before we dive into the actual project, I want to hop over to the website and show you all the patterns that we have for the upcoming holidays. So I'm going to share my screen with you once you are at Stahls.com. And I like walking you guys through the site just so you know exactly where to find things. So for those of you that may be new to ordering from Stahls, all of our heat transfer vinyl is housed under this tab here, CAD-CUT Direct. Right, so CAD-CUT is our brand of heat transfer vinyl, and that's where you can always find our heat transfer vinyl. And then you'll select heat transfer, and then you'll select patterns. Okay, once you select patterns, you'll be taken to our pattern generator. There are a variety of collections that we offer. And when I say collections, just different categories of different patterns that we offer, and they're all housed under Stahls Creative Studios. We have some outside of that as well, but most of the holiday ones that you guys will most likely be ordering and working with for the upcoming season will be under the holiday and events section. And then you just select which pattern that you want, right? So since today we are going to be focusing on patterns for Christmas, I'm going to select that, and that's going to generate all of the patterns that we have for this particular holiday. I do apologize, my internet is running pretty slow for me today, but just bear with me and we can get through this process. So as I'm scrolling through here, you can see we have a lot of really fun, unique things. One of my new favorite ones is the birch bark, which I believe was added last year. And what I also really like about our patterns generator is that you get to select the colors that go into the patterns. So even though we have some popular colorways showing here, ultimately you can go in and select which colors you want each element of each pattern to be. All right, so let's just go with Truly Treely. That pattern and what that print out is going to look like on the heat transfer vinyl will start to generate here. And then there's another tab that says select colors. So you get to select which color is chosen for each section of the design here. And then we also have curated popular colorways for you guys as well. This one is one of my favorites in this particular pattern. This is a cute one as well if you're doing some darker colored shirts. But ultimately, if you want to select which colors are in here, you get to do that. So if I wanted to change this color to Kelly and I wanted ivory to be bright red, I can change that, take out the khaki. Maybe I want to do white as the back, or maybe even like an army green. I don't know. It doesn't look great right now, so don't judge what I'm doing. But this just gives you an idea of, you know, what all you can achieve with this. All right. So this is just really scratching the surface. What I want to show you again, too, is the fabric designs. So we have another category known as fabric designs that you can select. This is where you're going to find a lot of those Buffalo Plaids and like the burlap and just really unique ways to incorporate patterns. And I really like the fabric designs because I think you can get really creative in your design elements whenever you're using the fabric patterns. They're not overly busy where it gets to the point where it's like, I can't even tell what my design is. But you also just get to select all of the colorways. So this is the Buffalo Plaid one. As you can see, we do a variety of Buffalo Plaid because it is really popular. So we just wanted to give you guys a lot of different options. And then if you guys are looking for Buffalo Plaid that is a little bit smaller, then our gingham is another really great option. And I really like this take on our Buffalo Plaid as well, where it's more of a watercolor. Now, as we look at this, you'll notice that this is only utilizing different colorways that we have selected for you guys. You can't actually go into this particular one and change the color. So I feel like that's a good thing to note. Whenever you're thinking of different patterns, if it's something you definitely want to be able to customize, then there are specific patterns that work best for that. So this is one of them. So if you wanted a Buffalo Plaid in which you can choose the colors, then you have the ability to do that. All right, so I see some comments coming in. Patrice says, I love your patterns, especially the fact that you can let us change the colors and also offer the same pattern and adhesive. Customers love the additional items with matching patterns. Yeah, so whenever we first launched our patterns in sign vinyl, I was super anxious to really come up with a lot of different project ideas because I'm really big on, if you're customizing things, being able to, you know, package items together, get that, you know, demand more for the overall price of your packaging items together. And being able to get these patterns not only in a heat transfer vinyl, but also a sign vinyl, or also a glitter finish, and also sublimation. So that's another good thing. And I'm actually glad, Patrice, that you commented that, because our patterns are not just a heat transfer vinyl. You can get them in sign vinyl, you can get them in sublimation. And if you don't want a matte finish of our patterns, you can get them in a glitter finish. So it really just opens up a lot of inspiration and a lot of different doors for different customer types too. So you always have customers that like different things, or the feel of, or the look or feel of how a different pattern looks on a particular thing. So this just opens up different ways for you to utilize our patterns and just build more profit opportunity and value in your overall brand. All right, so good morning, everyone. I feel like I've just been rambling so far, but I promise we are going to get into a fun little project here. We are actually going to be heat applying 4 different patterns, and I'm going to pair Ultra Weed with it, just because whenever I work with patterns, I always like to add a contrast color. So Ultra Weed is my go-to for that. And we are also working with an all-made t-shirt today. So I'm not sure if you guys have started working with all-made yet, but this is the softest feeling t-shirt I have ever felt in my life. So I'm really excited to actually heat apply it today. So for those of you who aren't familiar with All Made and their tri-blend t-shirts, this is what they're made of. So 50% recycled polyester, 25% organic cotton, and then 25% modal. So, I don't know how you guys pronounce that. I pronounce it modal. You guys might be saying that I'm saying that entirely wrong, but I already preheated this just to see if it would scorch at 300 degrees, and it didn't. So that's another key thing. Our patterns apply at 300 degrees, and the Ultra Weight obviously applies as low as 260. So we're not getting any scorching on this t-shirt at all, even using those heat-sensitive fabrics. So I really like these t-shirts. Again, that is the All Made brand. I'm really anxious to heat apply on that today. All right, so let's go ahead and start cutting out our pattern. So the first pattern I have loaded on is the Buffalo Plaid in Kelly and Black. And my Cricut is all set up to start cutting these already. So I need to plug my Cricut in and set the time to cut. So whenever you are working with patterns, it's going to be a little bit different than your standard cut process with just a single color heat transfer vinyl. So how I like to explain this is our pattern is obviously printed on the outside of the roll, which means that the adhesive is underneath. Okay, so there's going to be a little bit of a different process here. So we're not going to mirror our design when we cut it because we have to mask it. So it's very similar to how you may be cutting your sign vinyl. So just keep in mind this heat transfer vinyl. I know the rule or the go-to rule is always mirror your design before you send it to cut, but you just have to throw that out of your head when it comes to the pattern heat transfer vinyl because you don't mirror it for this. All right, so I have my green selected on my screen. Let me share my screen with you guys. Maybe. There we go. All right, so I have the green selected and I'm set up on my iron-on setting. So all I have to do is just hit the little go button on the Cricut and then it's going to send that to cut. Now, since there is a masking process with these, I went ahead and already trimmed up my masking. So if we had followed through the rest of the steps of the checkout process when we were in the patterns generator, you would have seen that there is a recommended masking, okay? And what we use for our masking is medium tack magic mask. This is the masking that's going to work best for our matte pattern heat transfer vinyl. So whenever you are working with some of our other styles of our patterns, there will always be a different recommended masking. The only style of pattern that you won't have to worry about having a different masking for is sublimation, because we're not masking sublimation. That's just going direct to the garment. And I just loaded my pattern upside down. All right, so the next one I'm going to do before we weed out the green Buffalo Plaid, I'm going to load on our red. I want to say whenever Buffalo Plaid really started trending in a big way, it was the red and black mainly. And now we're starting to see it incorporated in other colors. And I started to think outside of even holidays, because holidays, I don't know what it is about holidays, but I always correlate Buffalo Plaid to the holiday. So outside of holidays, where else can we use this pattern? My mind is definitely spirit wear, right? Because we can get a lot of these different colors in this Buffalo Plaid, the school colors. As you saw, all those different colors in the generator that you can choose from. So our patterns weed out super, super easy. The carrier is like more of a static cling than anything. It's not like a super aggressive adhesive. Right, so I'm just taking my masking, and I'm not sure where my squeegee is. I usually have it sitting up here, but luckily this does not take much pressure to really transfer it. So I'm just going to use my hand, but we do offer squeegees to be able to do that. Oh, I see it. It's sitting over there on the shelf across the room. All right, so that you guys can see what's going on over here. So I'm just peeling this back. And what it's doing is releasing from its original transfer that it was on when it was being cut. And now it is transferred over to the masking, which is going to work as a template for us to be able to place our designs. Now I always hang on to the backing of the mask just to make sure that I have something kind of protecting the adhesive on the underside of the pattern. All right, so red is all cut out. I didn't want to do a super intricate design since we're working with so many different colors. So last time we got into we really got into an intricate design last time I was live with you guys doing that Halloween one. It just took up so much time. So I went a little less intricate, but we're still working with a lot of colors. All right, and what color did I just load it in? Okay, so I just loaded in the black and white Buffalo Plaid, so I'm going to send that to cut now. And then we can weed out this one. And this design I honestly created just right in CADWorks Live, so super easy. Didn't take much time at all. So I'm going to trim up my masking here. I don't need quite as big of a strip as I used last time. We're really just repeating this same process over and over until we get everything transferred. But I wanted to show you guys this because if you haven't worked with patterns yet, there is this extra step. And it honestly is really simple, but it's just an extra step added if you're working with, if you're used to working with single color heat transfer vinyl. Obviously, you don't have to do the masking process. All right, so 2 down. Gonna visit the comments as well. Yes, Patrice, don't mirror when mask is required. All right, so now we are going to use this leopard pattern, which I'm wondering, I just happen to have this one already at home. So I didn't want to have to like order something else. But I'm wondering if that colorway of the cheetah is going to look right with these more muted or like deeper colors. So we will see how that turns out. And for those of you that have a hard time seeing cut lines, I will say that it is not too hard on the matte pattern heat transfer vinyl to really see the cut lines. They show up pretty good. Patrice says, in Texas, Buffalo Plaid is popular year-round. I will say you're definitely 100% right. I think based on location and demographic and whatnot, different patterns are popular in different areas. I will say in my area, it's definitely more popular during fall and winter. I really could have trimmed up my masking much better here. Let's save some of this, shall we? Use that for small little scraps later on. Okay. And now we'll do the ultra weed. So now that we're back to a single color heat transfer vinyl, I'm using just ultra weed white, we are going to definitely make sure our design is mirrored this time. So I have this mirror on, just making sure I have the right dimensions there, okay? And this one probably is going to take a little bit longer to cut just because it's script text, it's a little bit more intricate. And I'm going to trim up this design and get it weeded. And then I'm going to start just kind of building out the template. That way I know exactly where everything goes for my heat application. So to reiterate, for those of you that are just now joining, we have our pattern heat transfer vinyl. We're going to pair it with ultra weed. We're doing 4 different patterns. We're doing leopard as one, and then we are doing 3 different colors in Buffalo Plaid. We're pairing CAD-CUT Ultra Weed with it just to add an additional customization piece. And we're going to apply it onto a tri-blend t-shirt. All right, last color getting weeded out here. This is the ultra weed. While I have you guys on here, I want to ask you guys what type of content you guys are dying to see. So we've been going live pretty much nonstop since the stay-at-home order began back in March. So we used to be going live every day through the month of March and April. And then we cut it back to 3 times a week. And now we're doing 2 times a week. So at this point, I'm curious to know what you guys are interested in learning, what products you're dying to see, so that we can build up a good library of different content you guys want us to do live with you guys. So feel free to comment in, let us know what you guys want to see. All right, so this is the last piece. Now we can start building out our template. I'm actually going to do that over at the heat press so that you guys can see what's going on over there. Okay, so all made shirt loaded. I have all of my heat transfer vinyl pieces here. So let's go ahead and start placing everything out. All right, so let's make sure too that I have this loaded on right. So I'm just dropping that collar right off of the back of the platen. Actually, I don't want to work that far underneath the heat since I'm placing a lot of different colors. So I'm going to bring this to me a little bit closer. That way I can just work right here and not really have to worry about burning my knuckles because that's no fun. Okay, so even though we are using CAD-CUT Ultra Weed in this design, I am still making sure that I am at the temperature I need for my patterns to apply correctly. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to pull up my design as well on my other screen so that I can see exactly where each color is meant to be placed. So I'm starting with the largest part of my design, which is my green Buffalo Plaid. That looks like it's going to start over a little bit off center. And Patterns is another great tacking material. Sorry, I know you guys just lost my screen there. One second. See, I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, but someone called and it messed me all up. Bear with me. Okay, let me leave and go back in. And it was spam, which makes me even more mad. I've been getting spam calls like crazy, but Do Not Disturb obviously didn't feel like working today. Okay. All right, let's get this hooked back up. And let's see. Oh, yeah. There we go. That's better. All right, so we got our first application done. Then I got a phone call and it ruined everything. All right, so this is a hot peel. So like I was saying, Patterns is a tacking material, which means that you can tack it for a couple seconds so that you can get it on there real quick and then go in with the next color. I always love using the tacking method for multicolor designs or multicolor heat transfer vinyl designs like this. It just helps speed up the process more. All right, what's my next color that I'm doing? Looks like it's going to be red. Okay, so I'm going to do our red Buffalo Plaid. And that is going to go over here. Dimitri says it's election season. Yes, I'm pretty sure that's what all of my spam calls are at this point. And I don't know about you guys, but I've been getting text messages nonstop from people recommending who to elect and whatnot. But I just didn't know that was even a thing. And it's also very annoying. Okay. So my next one is the cheetah. And that one's going over here. Actually, I think I am going to like this. Earlier, I said I wasn't sure if I would like the cheetah in with these colors. And I need a cover sheet now because now I'm getting to a lot of exposed heat transfer vinyl. But I think it is going to turn out decent. Just a little pop of color. All right, and our last pattern we're doing is the black and white Buffalo Plaid. And at this point, oh no, we're gonna trim this because I must have not put something down correctly. Oops. All right, so let's put this one here and this one. So I think that one of these colors was meant to be reversed, but oh well, we fixed it. Just fill in the gaps. All right, and then this is gonna get another tack. And then with our last color being the Ultra Weed, we will finalize it and do the full dwell time for this one. All right, full dwell time. So we're going to give that a full 15 seconds because patterns applies anywhere from 10 to 15. And since we have a lot of patterns on there and Ultra Weed has just been added, we're going to do the full 15. I think it turned out okay. I kind of wish that this gap over here wasn't so big in between these two trees, but you'll have that. I made a mistake, guys. All right, so let's go ahead and peel the Ultra Weed. All right, overall really good finish. Once again, I do really like these all made t-shirts. They are just so soft and comfy. But I do like the mix of colors on this green too. So easy to get full color designs using patterns, and you don't even have to worry about printing it yourself. Also a great, just a different option, because I see a lot of design ideas like this done in sublimation, where they're just ordering a stock sublimation transfer like this and applying it to 100% polyester, or maybe even a 50-50. But that's the thing with sublimation. I really like how sublimation turns out, but you're only able to use 100% polyester or 50-50 garments. So if we wanted a really soft t-shirt like this that has cotton and modal and whatnot in it, then we can use patterns in place of the sublimation and still be able to achieve that same effect. So it looks like everybody loves it. Thank you all very much. Laura, I would like to see the new soft foam. So the soft foam is super awesome. And I actually just worked with it yesterday. I did a class for an upcoming NBM breakaway event that's going to be happening. And I applied it onto fleece. And it looks amazing. So anytime we've worked with fleece in the past, we've always recommended our Flock 2 product, which is still a really great premium product, but soft foam, it has that same dimension, but it is soft. It doesn't have the velvet feel. It's not rubbery either. It's just a very unique product, but it's brand new. So for those of you that I see asking in the comments what soft foam is, we just launched it. It is live on our website. So you guys can order samples of that now, like little 1-yard cuts, and play around with it. I'm very anxious to do my live with you guys next week, which I'm going to be doing a soft foam tutorial on. And I'm going to show you guys how to cut it using a craft cutter. I haven't had the chance to test it with this cutter yet. I've only used the Graphtec C6000. So that's why we're not working with soft foam today, but we will definitely be doing it next week. So stay tuned for that. All right, well, that completes today's live broadcast. I want to thank you guys so much for staying on and just kind of working through the process of all the different patterns that we worked with today. You guys get to see firsthand how these products work through these. So I love coming on and being able to chat with you guys and work on different things. So on the patterns, could you layer them on the same mask and just press once? So Sarah, if I wasn't overlapping them, I could have done that. But in some of these, you can see where they're overlapping each other. That would have been a little bit hard to achieve on the mask. So that's why I did them all separately. But what I could have done was probably double up a couple colors on one mask just to save in material costs there. So really great question, really great idea. There are definitely ways to work around that so that you can cut back on material costs. All right. And again, Sam, this is the All Made t-shirt. It's the tri-blend that they offer. Again, that's recycled polyester, organic cotton, and modal, right? So that's why we're getting that really soft, lightweight feel from this t-shirt, which is really popular and super easy to heat print. Apparently, it's not scorching, so that is good news. All right. Thank you guys so much. I will see you next time. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week and weekend.